Two people free up $50 a month. Same paycheck, same bank, same savings account, same Monday morning. A year later, one of them is twice as far ahead as the other. Not because one tried harder, not because one earned more. The only thing separating them is where the 50 came from. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to show you the $50 rule that builds a full year of survival money on a paycheck that has no room in it. Then I'm going to show you the half of that rule nobody teaches, which is the half that decides whether you finish or quit. Every number in this video went through a spreadsheet before it went on screen. So here's the first one, and it's uncomfortable. $50 a payday, the way this rule usually gets taught, takes 12 years and 3 months to build a single year of savings. 12 years. Same $50, laid the right way, gets you there in a fraction of that. Before the mechanics, let me name something that has probably been sitting on you a while. Save 20% of your income. You've heard that one. It shows up in every book, every article, every comment section, and it sounds responsible right up until you try to apply it. 20% of what exactly? By the time the rent has spoken, and the car payment has spoken, and the insurance and the utilities and the groceries have all spoken, 20% of what's left is a number, and the number is 0. Percentage rules are written for people with leftovers. They assume a calm, predictable surplus at the end of every month waiting to be allocated. That is a real financial life. It is not the only one. So if you have opened a savings calculator, typed in your real take-home pay, watched it return a date somewhere in the next decade, and closed the tab without telling anyone, let me be precise about what happened. That was not weakness. That was a correct reaction to a tool that was not built for your paycheck. And if you have started a savings plan 2 or 3 times and watched everyone die by the second month, you did not fail 2 or 3 times. The plan did, and it will do it again if you hand it your next paycheck. Let me put some ground under that, because this is not a feeling. It is measurable. The Federal Reserve runs an annual survey of household economics and decision-making. In the most recent one, 63% of American adults said they could cover a $400 emergency using cash or its equivalent, which means better than a third could not. And on the question that matters more for us, 55% said they had enough set aside to cover 3 months of expenses if they lost their main income. 30% said they could not cover it at all, by any method. Bankrate ran its own at the end of last year. 47% said they had the liquidity to handle a $1,000 emergency. Fewer than half. One caveat, because these numbers get flattened constantly. Cash, or its equivalent, includes a credit card paid off at the next statement. So the $400 figure is not a measure of who is broke. It is a measure of who has a buffer. The people who most need a plan that survives a bad month are being handed plans that assume there will not be one. So let's build the version that works, on a real paycheck instead of a comfortable one. This is Ryan. Ryan brings home $2,380 a month, not his salary. What actually lands in the account after tax, after everything. The first thing Ryan does is not open a savings account. It is find one number, and it is the foundation of everything else in this video, so build yours carefully. It is called the survival number. What it costs you to keep existing for 1 month if everything else stopped. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, the real kind, not the restaurant kind, insurance, transport, meaning whatever it takes to get to work. The phone, because in 2026, a phone is not optional if you want to be employable. That is the list. Not entertainment, not the gym, not the subscriptions. Those are not survival, and in a few minutes you will see why that distinction is worth thousands of dollars to you. Ryan's survival number is $1,700 a month. So a full year of survival, the thing everyone means when they say a year of savings, is 1,700 times 12. $20,400. Now, look at that number honestly. $20,400 against a paycheck of $2,380 a month. If your stomach dropped slightly, that is the correct response. And it is also the exact reason most people never start. Here's the trick, and I do not want credit for it because I did not invent it. $20,400 is not a goal. It is a wall. And nobody can look at a wall that size and feel anything except defeated. So Ryan does not build a wall. He lays a brick. A brick is $50. That is the only unit his savings life is allowed to exist in. 20,400 divided by 50 is 408. 408 bricks. Ryan writes that number down exactly once, and then he does not look at it again. There is real research underneath this. Richard Thaler, the economist at Chicago, spent a career documenting that we do not treat money as one pool. We sort it into mental accounts, and we treat a large distant goal completely differently from a small present action. A large distant goal does not motivate. It measures. Every month you look up at 20,400 from 300, and what it says is give up. A brick does not do that. A brick is $50. You either laid one or you didn't. There is no gap to stare at. So the unit is right. The unit is the best thing about this rule, and whoever is teaching it got that part correct. What almost nobody gets correct is everything after the unit. Here is where the version going around falls apart, and it falls apart quietly, which is the dangerous way. The standard instruction is $50 every payday. Ryan is paid every other Friday, like most of this country. 26 paydays a year times 50 is $1,300. $108.33 a month. Now put that against the wall. $20,400 funded at $108 a month in an account paying 4%. 147 months, 12 years and 3 months. And if the money sits in a normal savings account earning almost nothing, which is where most of it does sit, it is 15 years and 8 months. That is the arithmetic. Nobody is lying to you on purpose. The number just never got checked, and it got repeated, and now a lot of people are laying bricks on a 12-year schedule and calling it a 1-year plan. So, change one word, not payday, week. $50 every week is 52 payments a year. $2,600, $216.67 a month. Same wall, same 4%. 83 months, 6 years and 11 months. You just deleted 5 years and 4 months by changing a single word in the instruction. And there is a gift buried in that switch. $50 a week is not $200 a month. There are 52 weeks in a year, not 48. 4 months out of every 12 have 5 Fridays. So 4 times a year, without deciding anything, you lay a 5th brick. $200 a year the calendar hands you for showing up. The switch fixes something else too. $50 every other week is an amount you can forget you agreed to. $50 every week is a rhythm, and a rhythm survives a bad month in a way an intention does not. But 6 years and 11 months is better. It is not good. The weekly brick is only using 32% of Ryan's actual room. Take home $2,380, survival $1,700, so there is $680 a month of genuine surplus sitting there. The weekly brick touches 216 of it. So the second move does the heavy lifting, and it is not earning more, and it is not trying harder. It is cutting and redirecting the exact amount you cut on the same day you cut it. Ryan sits down on a Sunday afternoon with 12 months of bank statements. Not a budget. Statements. A budget is what you meant to spend. A statement is what you actually spent. What he finds is what everybody finds. 3 streaming services, and he watches one. The ad-free tiers now run $18 to $20 a month each, and they have gone up more than once while he wasn't looking. A gym membership from January used 4 times. 2 app subscriptions that renewed annually and never sent a reminder, because sending you a reminder is not in their interest. A delivery membership from a free trial in a month he no longer remembers. None of this is a moral failing, and this is not a video about your coffee. Every one of those charges was reasonable when he made it, and everyone survived because canceling things is slightly annoying and nobody is coming to do it for you. That is the business model. They are not selling you a service, they are selling you your own inertia back at $19.99 a month. Ryan cuts $150 a month and sends every dollar of it to the wall. Now his pace is $366.67 a month, and the wall arrives in 52 months. 4 years and 4 months. From 12 years and 3 months to 4 years and 4 months. Same person, same paycheck, same $50 unit. Now stay with me because this is the whole video and it takes about 90 seconds to land. Go back to the 2 people I opened with. Both of them freed up $50 a month. One of them ended the year twice as far ahead. Here is why. An emergency fund has 2 ends. Everybody teaches the first one and almost nobody teaches the second. The first end is the money going in. Save $50 a month, and after a year, you have $600. Everyone knows this. The second end is the finish line itself. And your finish line is not a fixed number. It is built out of your own bills. $20,400 was never a law of nature. It was 1,700 times 12. So if your survival number moves, the finish line moves with it. Which means this. When you cut $50 a month out of a bill that lives inside your survival number, two things happen at once. You have $50 more a month to save. And your target drops by $600 because you are no longer trying to fund a bill that no longer exists. $50 laid from your paycheck is worth $600 over a year. $50 cut from inside your survival number is worth $1,200. Same 50. Double the distance. Every single time. And now the sharp edge of it. Netflix is not in your survival number, neither is the gym. Canceling them is a good decision, and I would still do it, but it only moves one end. You save the money, and the finish line does not move an inch because the finish line was never counting Netflix in the first place. Your phone bill is in your survival number. Your insurance is. Your transport is. Your utilities are. Your housing is. So here is what that costs Ryan if he gets it wrong. $150 a month cut entirely from subscriptions gets him there in 52 months. The same $150 cut from inside his survival number gets him there in 47 months, because his target drops from $20,400 to $18,600. 5 months of his life. Identical effort, identical dollars, identical discipline. 5 months, decided by which bill he happened to open first. That is the half nobody teaches. Quick pause on the video itself. This channel exists because most money content is written for people with slack in the month, and the version that survives an actual paycheck mostly does not get made. If you want more of it, subscribing is how that gets decided. And in the comments, tell me your survival number divided by 50. Your honest brick count, not the flattering one. I read those. Now the single best double brick most people are sitting on, your phone bill. The 3 major carriers charge $60 to $90 a month for one unlimited line. The resellers charge $20 to $40 for the same thing. And I mean the same thing literally, because these are not competing networks. Cricket runs on the AT&T network. Visible runs on Verizon. Mint runs on T-Mobile. The major carrier owns the towers and sells the capacity. The signal reaching your phone is identical. The invoice is not. Say, Ryan moves from $70 a month to $30. That is $40 a month, and it is a double brick because his phone bill sits inside his survival number. $40 a month saved over a year is $480, and his target falls by $480 at the same time, $960 of progress out of one afternoon of admin. The fine print, because a channel that skips the fine print is doing the same thing to you that got us here. Reseller customers get deprioritized when a tower is congested. Most people never notice. Some absolutely do. The cheapest headline prices often require paying 12 months up front, which is exactly what a person with no savings cannot do. So the honest entry point is billed monthly, and if your handset is financed through your carrier, you are not going anywhere until it is paid off. Check the coverage map for your own zip code before you switch, not after. But notice what Ryan did not do. He did not give anything up. He did not cancel a pleasure or eat worse or stop seeing people. He filled in a form. That is the shape a double brick should have. If a cut feels like a sacrifice, look harder. The good ones almost never do. So that is Ryan's plan. $50 a week on a standing transfer, $150 a month cut from bills, $366.67 landing in an account paying 4%. His survival number is now $1,550, so his wall is $18,600. Month 5, he has $1,550. One full month of survival. Month 13, $4,650. 3 months. Month 25, $9,300. 6 months. Month 47, $18,600. A full year of survival in the bank, in his name. I am telling you the 47 up front because I am not going to sell you a 4-year plan as a 1-year plan. That is the thing this channel exists to not do. But look at the shape of that list, because the shape is the point. The money finishes at month 47. The fear does not wait that long. Month 13, Ryan's brakes go. The real thing, the grinding. The noise you hear on Tuesday, and pretend you did not hear until Thursday. $380. He pays it. He gets his keys. He drives home. And it is not until he is pulling into his own street that he notices what did not happen. There was no spiral. There was no sitting at the kitchen table at 11 at night moving numbers between columns like furniture in a room that is too small. There was no deciding which bill gets to be late this month so that this one can be on time. 7.5 bricks came off a wall that was holding 93 of them, and the wall did not care. He is nowhere near finished. A quarter of the way, 34 months still ahead of him. But the specific fear that used to live inside the sound of his own car has nowhere left to sit. That is the product, not the $18,600, the $380 afternoon that turned out to be boring. You do not have to finish a wall to stand behind it. Every course of bricks is shelter. 2 things before the end, and both are places where I could tidy this up and will not. The first is the carve-out, and if it is you, hear it clearly. If your income genuinely sits below your survival line, if the arithmetic is negative before a single brick exists, none of this is your first move. A savings rule cannot fix an income gap. The move is hours, rates, benefits you have earned and are not claiming, the harder conversation at work. That is a different video. Laying bricks on a foundation that is underwater is not discipline. It is a slower way to feel bad. The second is the 4%. Because I have used it all the way through and I owe you the caveat. 4% is what the better online savings accounts are paying as I record this. It is not what most pay. The national average is a fraction of it. And if Ryan's wall sat in the account attached to his checking, all of this arithmetic would be worse. And that 4% is doing less work than you would think. Over the 47 months, Ryan deposits $17,233 of his own money. Interest contributes $1,367. That is 7.3% of the wall. The interest matters. It is free, and you should take it. But nobody saves their way to safety on a yield. Ryan built that wall. The bank tipped him for the privilege of holding it. So it is an ordinary evening and you want to start. 3 moves, and all of them fit in one sitting. 1. Find your survival number. Rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, transport, phone, nothing else. Multiply by 12, divide by 50, write the brick count on a piece of paper. Then put the paper away and do not look at it again. That number's only job was to exist once. 2. Set the weekly transfer before you sleep tonight. $50, automatic, same day, every week. Do not rely on remembering. Willpower is spent by Friday afternoon, and a standing transfer has never once had a bad week. 3. Open your last 12 months of statements and find your first double brick. Cancel the subscriptions too, but go straight for the bills inside your survival number. The phone plan. The insurance renewal you auto-accepted. The thing you have paid since you moved in and never once reshopped. Every $50 in there is worth $100, and because the answer changes completely depending on your own survival number and which bills you can move, I built the calculator that runs this properly. You put in your real numbers and it shows you your wall, your brick count, your month 13, and what each kind of cut is worth in your situation. It is in the vault, which is open to members of this channel. Last thing. Somewhere on a Friday morning, before the coffee is finished, $50 moves out of an account and nobody notices. Not the bank, not the app, not the person who set it up 14 months ago and has not thought about it since. It is not a payment. It is a brick, laid level and true, with a wall growing quietly behind it and a number somewhere ahead that he is deliberately not looking at. You do not save a year. You lay a brick. And the best morning to lay the first one is the one you are about to wake up to.